Today, we're going to be talking to Banda, one of my good friends, one of the people who actually inspire me. This man steps on set, whether professional or just shooting, a creative or an artist or a model, and you actually see that this man means business. So he has worked with some of the biggest brands in the world, including Netflix, Airtel, and even our local brands such as TNM. So today we'll be talking about his career, his journey, on how he became probably the biggest photographer in Malawi. So we'll talk about his journey, his struggles, and some advice that he actually has for young creatives who also want to become as big as Banda. So stay tuned as we have this talk. All right. So we're just going to go straight into it.
Okay, I see.
From some of the stories that I've actually had about you and some of the conversations we've had, I understand you lost your dad when you were very young.
Exactly.
Take me through that. And the reason why I wanted you to talk about this is I'm a firm believer that things that have happened to us when we're younger, they shape who we are when we grow up, the decisions we make. Because they become like a scar or an armor around us, which either pulls us down or gives us the fighting spirit for the future. So just take us through, how was it growing up after your dad had passed?
Well, my dad passed away when I was 5, so I was pretty young. And it wasn't easy growing up without a father. But I think I'm lucky because I grew up with my grandparents ever since my dad passed away. So I moved into our grandparents' place. And growing up with my grandparents, I had a father figure. It was my granddad. I still call him dad up until now. So I wouldn't say I was affected much growing up without a father as like some people. Because some people lost their father and they grew up without a father figure. Maybe it's just a mom raising them alone and stuff. But I was lucky I had a father figure. I still have a father figure until now. Yeah. So I miss my dad, but I still have a father figure. So
I see that.
Yeah.
So basically what you're trying to say is in terms of like mentorship, things like that, you had someone you could run to. There was no gap.
Exactly.
Right?
There
was no gap.
Yes.
But basically I think I like one point that you made, that said that you miss your dad, but at least you had this mentorship side.
Yes.
So what things did you observe changed? I think one time you told me about your story about how when you went to school you realized something is missing. So what changed? What changed did you observe that my dad is not around? Something is missing. Did you have any feeling that something is amiss, or everything was just normal?
Okay, that's just yeah, there was a gap, but like I said, I had a father figure who was my granddad, and the thing I would say I missed about my father, we know a father will go to some extent just to make sure that his children get what they need. And growing up with a grandfather, he also has children and other grandkids as well he's looking after. So it wasn't easy for him as well to look after us, look after his children as well. Because I still remember when my dad passed away, he still had his other children who were still in college. So he was paying for their school fees and stuff, and also he had to make sure that we go to school as well. So it was a burden for him as well, looking after his children and his grandchildren as well. So I think, there are certain things that I wish my father was still there, because I know he would have, made it possible for me to have certain privileges.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. That's very deep. Yeah. And I'm guessing we're very thankful to your granddad.
Exactly. That's my hero.
Yeah.
That's my hero.
He guided you to become the man that you are.
Thank you.
One thing that I like about you is you're very you're very calculated in the actions that you take, because right now you're a very successful photographer, videographer. You've worked on very big projects. So maybe let me ask: did this gap that you just talked about, did it bring up some spirit of hustling in you? Did you start hustling?
Exactly. Because there was a point in my life, I think that was after I wrote my Form 4 exams.
Yeah.
And then I was still trying to figure out what to do with my life and stuff. And I think at that point, that's when I knew it was just me.
No one's coming to save you.
Exactly. And I had to, take action and take the next step. And it wasn't easy, like making the decision, like, okay, I've always had passion for art.
Okay.
First of all, I've always had passion for art. I remember when I was in primary school, whenever we had drawings, I was the one
You're the one
drawing instead of the teacher, because some teachers were not good at sketching and stuff, and they would say, Banda, come in front and
draw the grasshopper."
Exactly, stuff like that. I was the one who was doing that. So I've always had passion for art, music and stuff. And then after I wrote my Form 4 exams, and I was still trying to see what I would do after, I was like, okay, let me just try, not try, but do this, because I believed in myself. And yeah, I made that decision.
You made the decision that you're going to pursue art
full time.
So this is you finishing Form 4.
Mm-hmm.
You're making a decision to pursue art full time.
Yes.
How did your family take this?
They didn't take it. I must be honest. They didn't take it at first because I was still young.
Yeah.
By the way, I was still young, and to them, they thought I wasn't serious with my life. But I knew what I wanted, and by then I had applied for Unima, Tenche stuff.
Yes.
So I applied for a program in art at Chansa College, and then when the results came, I wasn't selected. But I passed with good grades in my Form 4 exams. And then I had to apply for another program at Poly CEC.
Okay.
I was doing IT, information technology.
Yeah.
And then when I started the course, midway, I just thought it wasn't for me.
You just thought that it wasn't
for me. I wasn't happy because I pictured myself 10 years from then when I started. Is this what I want to do with my life? Is this I enjoy doing? And then I had to make a decision. I dropped out. And then I had to pick another course, which was business management. Because deep down I wanted to pursue photography as a career, and choosing business management was just for me to have a basic knowledge about how business works and stuff. So
that's mad.
So, yeah.
Ken.
Yeah.
So you did college, but you decided that I'm not going to do this.
Exactly.
One thing that I've learned about you, you are an old soul. You're full of wisdom, in the sense that you always find some inspiration, or you find a place to get your knowledge to say, I'm making this decision based on this knowledge. When you did IT, you realized this is not for me.
Exactly.
Do you have any inspiration that triggered you to say, I don't want to do something I don't want?
Well,
and you're like, you know what, right now I'm going to do photography. What was that inspiration that went you know what, this is not for me, I want to stick to? What was the inspiration? What was the trigger?
I think life is too short to do something you're not happy with, first of all. And I didn't want to be that someone, or they made a decision and then later you make a decision based on what the society believes in. because I grew up in a society, I grew up in a family where people believe in, you know, you have to go to school, and then after you finish school, you get a good job, and that's it. That's what they believe in, which is not bad, because every parent's dream is to see their children, you know, succeed in life.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's bad. It's a good thing to do. I would wish the same for my children as well, if God is going to bless me with children. But at the same time, this is my script. It's my life. And I'm in charge of my life. So I had to make the decision that, you know what, Ken? You don't have to follow what everyone believes in. After all, the Bible says kuduzaja tu utalago. It didn't say uzaja tu utalago just because you went to school or you follow this path. No, it just said uzaja tu utalago. And then I was like, I'm good at art. I can sing, I can play guitar, I can play piano. I'm good at photography. So I decided, okay, at this stage in my life, I think photography is the way to go for now. So yeah, I decided to do art full time. Okay, I didn't want to choose a career based on what my parents wanted me to be.
Or the society at large.
Or the society. So I better live with the regret of the decision I made on my own than live with the regret of the decision that my parents or someone made for me. I think that's worse.
Yeah, that's powerful. So actually, that's coming from a thought that I was actually I've had and discussed with several people, that there is this idea of imposter syndrome, whereby people go into workplaces. Actually, let's not even go to workplaces. There is this place whereby most young people make a decision about their career based on what their parents are telling them.
Exactly.
You know what, IT is good now. Everybody's doing IT and they're getting rich. Go do it. Go be a lawyer. But I think, reflecting to what you've said, you looked at your life 10 years from there and you realize you will not be happy.
Exactly.
And it's something that I've actually realized a lot, is I've realized that the people who do what they love, in the future, when we look at like financial terms, the things that they do for money, when they do what they love, they're actually very
There's a high chance for you to succeed as well.
Because you'll be chasing a dream all the time. So no matter how hard you get knocked down, you are becoming something that you are actually
because it's part of you.
Yes.
So you continue.
You keep on going. So I think in the story of keeping going, you know, trying and trying and trying. You're a very successful photographer now.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very, very successful, and I'm very, very proud of you, man.
Thanks, man.
Have I told you this before?
You have.
I have. I'm very, very proud of you.
Thank you.
But I know your story. I know your struggle. But tell me, what are the challenges you have gone through to get to this place of becoming a successful photographer?
Okay, as you have said, it's been a struggle. But like I've said as well, when you're doing something you love, you keep on moving, no matter whatever is happening in your life. You keep on moving. I remember I started doing photography when I had no camera, I had no computer. You know, like, these are the basic things you need. You can't start a photography business without a computer. You can't start a photography business without a camera. Maybe you can start with a computer, but you can't start without both.
Yeah.
So I remember when I started, I used to borrow a camera from my friend, including you as well, if you remember. I used to come to you, hey Steve, I have a shoot. How busy are you with your camera? And then you would say, it's free, you can come get it. Some days you'd say, no, I'm busy as well, I'm using it. So yeah, I started photography without a camera, without the PC. But because I loved it, I had passion, and I was seeing myself 5 years from then, from when I started. And that passion and that love kept me going, kept me moving, no matter the circumstances I was in. So yeah, it wasn't easy.
You kept on going.
I kept on going.
And I think I remember there was a time you would even give out free shoots just to get yourself out
there. Exposure, yeah. I think that helped me as well, to get more people to know what I do. At first I was just using my sister, my little sister, as a model. So I'd shoot her, post her on my IG, post her on my Facebook, and then people started seeing the pictures, and they loved my work. And then that's when I started getting calls. And I remember I posted like a photo of my sister and my cousin and some I'm going to mention her name. Okay. Her name is Zahira. Okay. She saw the photos on Facebook and she messaged me. She was like, "Hi Ken, my name is Zahira. I've seen your work. I like your pictures. I have business for you. Can you pass me your contacts?" So I passed her my contacts and stuff. By then there was no business as an actual business. It was just her telling me the potential clients she has for me, because she loved my work and she believed the other people are going to love my work as well. So that's why she got my contact. So she had my number for like a year. So while I was still doing photography as an amateur.
Yeah, so this is you doing free shoots.
Free shoots and stuff.
And building
my
yourself.
uncle saw the pictures on Facebook as well. And he saw the passion. And then I remember I was in town with my other cousin, and then my cousin was like, "Hey Ken, I have some news for you, but please don't tell anyone." And I was like, I was talking to Uncle Mark, and they were saying, "Good day, he has seen your work on Facebook, and he likes the pictures. So he wants to get you a camera, but please don't say it to anyone, because he hasn't told anyone yet, and he's planning on not telling you until he buys the camera for you." So I was like, okay, cool. I was excited. End 2016, my uncle sent me a DM on Facebook, and I was like, "Hey Ken, I've seen like you have passion for photography and stuff, and I would like to help you. It's not a promise, but I'll make sure I get you a camera. Just send me a list of cameras you would like for me to get you." And then I remember I sent him, I think, 8 cameras. So I started with my first choice, because the photography gear is expensive, and I didn't want to like be a burden as well. So I was like, this is my first choice, but if this doesn't work, then you can get me this. If this doesn't work, you can get me this, until like from top to the least in terms of prices. And then I was like, okay, cool. It's not a promise, but I'll make sure I try my best to get you a camera. I was like, okay, fine, cool. And then after some months, a friend of mine was selling his camera. It was a second-hand camera, I remember, Canon 50D. And then I was like, you know what? I'd like to buy a camera, but at the moment I don't have any money. How can you help me? And I was like, hey, my guy, I'm looking for fast cash. I need the money right now. And that's when I remembered my uncle. So I sent him a message. I was like, hey, this other friend of mine is selling a camera, and it's a good one. And also, he's selling it at a better price compared to the ones I sent you. I was like, okay, fine. So he sent me the money. I bought the camera. And that's when, I started taking pictures almost every day now, because I had my own camera, and I would make time for myself, go take pictures, random pictures and stuff. It was just exactly after a month, the camera stopped working.
So it was anyway, so the camera stops working.
The camera stops working.
You confronted the guy, the person who sold you the camera?
I think this is a personal
issue.
So I'm not gonna share or go deeper into the story. But yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah, so this affected your photography journey. So like you're just 1 month old in your photography.
Exact. No, I wasn't 1 month old.
But with
1 month old with my
camera.
own camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the camera stops working, man. I was devastated. Because my uncle was my only hope. Remember.
Yes. And he had
in terms of money wise,
yeah.
To buy the equipment and stuff. And now this happens. How am I going to tell my uncle? I think this is the first time, if my uncle is going to watch this podcast, this is going to be the first time he's going to find out that the camera he bought me stopped working just after a month.
That we have to send your uncle a link.
Wow, yeah, we have to send him. So
What decision did you have to make at that point? Now
man,
you have
there was no decision for me. There was no decision for me at that point. I was just like, this is it for me. I know what else I have to do from now, because this is the thing I love that I've always wanted to do. But looking at my circumstances, I cannot afford to buy myself a camera. And my uncle, who was my only hope, has given me the money, and this is what has happened. And mind you, I didn't shoot any paid gig.
So the revenue on the other side is also
Gone.
zero. So at this point, did you go back to borrowing cameras for you to continue?
So this is what happened. Remember, I said I've always had passion for art.
Yes.
So when my camera stopped working, I was devastated. I was like, very sad. I was like, you know what? I still have the talent. I can sketch. So I started sketching people using a pencil and a piece of paper. I remember my first client. I'm trying to remember his name. Whoa. I'm trying to remember his name.
But you can come back to it.
Yeah, but we grew up together with this guy.
Yeah.
And I remember that day I sketched, was it an animal? I can't really recall. I sketched and then I posted on my WhatsApp status. And this guy saw the status. I was like, Ken, I like this. I would like you to draw a picture of me and my wife. That was my first client.
Oh.
So that's what I was doing. For the meantime,
You're drawing
Yeah.
with a piece of paper
and pencil.
and pencil. So coming from a camera, you saw that my passion is not going to end here. I will just express it in a different way.
Exactly. But now it was difficult because with a camera, you can just take a picture in a second.
Yes.
I can just point a camera at you and then click the button. That's it. But then if I have to sketch you, just your face alone, that's almost like a day. 8 hours, 12 hours, depending on how good you are. And then the money you're getting is even less than the money you can get if you, like, let's say you have a 30-minute session shoot and stuff. So I kept on doing that. And then this Zahira woman messaged me on, it was Instagram. It was like, hey Ken, how are you? I was like, I'm fine. And I was like, I've got you a gig. I have this Indian wedding that I want you to shoot. And then I was honest with her. I was like, hey, I'm not shooting at the moment. My camera stopped working. And then she was like, let's try and find someone to fix it. I have a guy who can fix it. So she contacted the guy and then we sent the camera. Unfortunately, it was beyond repair. He couldn't fix it. And then that's when Zahira was like, Ken, I have a camera at home. It's just sitting. Let me go look for it. If I find it, I'll just borrow you. You can be using it. And then I remember it was after 2 weeks after we had that conversation, she called me. It's like, hey, I found the camera. You can go pick it up.
Whoa.
So she was like, you're going to meet Ethel. She's going to give you the camera. Ethel was her maid. I think it's still her maid as well. So I went there. I knocked at the door. And then this guy comes out. And I was like, I'm here to meet Ethel. And I was like, okay, cool, just wait. And then the guy goes inside, calls Ethel. Ethel comes out. It turns out Ethel, like, is... I think older than my mom.
Oh.
So that's a funny story. Yeah, I was calling her Ethel. Exactly. So Ethel comes out, and then she's like, I've got your equipment with me, and that's it.
That's how the journey began.
That's how Banda started. That's how Banda started.
So just to just to take a branch off a little bit, mentors. I'm a strong believer that we, as people, we need mentors in our lives because they see the potential in us that we don't even see in ourselves, and they're able to guide us through things that we don't know we would have to think about. In regards to Zahir, right? If I'm not mistaken. Do you consider her as a mentor? And if so, how has she pretty much shaped Ken Banda?
Yeah, I consider Zahir as a mentor, but she's more than a mentor to me, because this is someone who helped me financially as well. Even though it wasn't cash, but it was still like financial help, because I got the equipment that I was gonna use money to buy. So instead of giving me money, she gave me the equipment. So to me, she's more than a mentor in that sense, because a mentor would be someone like just giving you advice, or someone you just follow from a distance, and you're just like following their footsteps. So Zahira to me is more than a mentor. I don't know what to call her, but she's more than a mentor to me.
Powerful.
She's more than a mentor to me.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Powerful. Let's talk about, I want to talk about purpose. From the little research that I've been doing, there's been a lot of stuff being posted online about purpose, and it's been a lot nowadays, I think, because the power of social media coming into influence, and also the fact that I feel like the art scenes are becoming very vibrant. I've come to this place whereby I'm accepting that purpose is something that you chase. It's so big that even you fear it. It's so big that you feel like you cannot attain it. What's your purpose?
I think that's a deep conversation as well on its own, like the purpose conversation. Because I believe everyone has their own purpose, and then at the same time, it's not the same.
Okay.
It's not the same. I'm still trying to find the right word to use.
I'll take your time.
Yeah.
Because the reason I was asking this is they.
Yeah, I get the question. I'm just trying to find
Where you find
the right response.
I just wanted to expand it also because there's usually there's also a situation whereby, like we said, there are people who are just jumping from one career to the next, one interest to the next. So I think as you're coming together with this, how can you help someone like that? You know, because people are just doing one course to the next.
Good question.
Yeah.
Good question. Now we go back to my story.
Let's do it.
For someone that's like, going through all that, my advice would be they should have some time and then try to find out what makes them happy. Like I said, life is too short to live unhappy.
Yeah.
You have to find something that makes you happy. For other people, going to school, getting good grades makes them happy, seeing themselves being someone they've always wanted to be, whether it's a doctor, a lawyer, whatever, makes them happy. That's their purpose. You do that, you work hard in school, you finish school, and then you become a doctor, or you become a lawyer, you become a pilot, an engineer. That's your purpose. For other people like me, doing their own stuff makes them happy. Well, as in for me, I'll give you an example. I'm not a morning person, first of all.
So you don't do...
I'm not a morning person.
You don't do 5 a.m.?
Zero. I'm not a morning person. How will I work in a corporate world being someone who's not a morning person? I love sleeping. I know people say They say goodie, there's a saying goodie, you can't succeed. No, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. That's why I had to follow my heart. To me, every day is like, to me, every day is a Sunday.
What do you mean by that?
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Okay, take us.
Okay, when you go, okay. Let me just put it this way. To me, every day is a Sunday in a sense that, okay, I'm sure you're going to agree with me. You've seen this post on social media, people complaining about Monday, and stuff.
Yeah.
To me, that's very sad. Why are you complaining about Monday?
That's deep.
What's wrong with Monday? Monday is just like any other day. You see? So I see a lot of people complaining about Monday. Hey, Monday again. Monday is coming. Hey, tomorrow is Monday. Why are you complaining? Because if you're doing something that you love or you're living your purpose, Monday will be like any other day.
Every day
You'll
is
be
Saturday.
more than excited. Tomorrow is Monday. I have this to do. You'll be excited.
That's deep.
But a lot of people are doing things just because their parents forced them or pressure of the society. You know? I have to fit in. Everyone is like doing this. I have to do the same as well. That's why you find people complaining about
That's
Monday.
deep. Because that.
As in for me,
Yeah.
every day is weekend.
I see that.
Every day is weekend. I still hustle. I still make money.
Dude, that's deep. Because I'm coming from that same story that we talked about, the imposter syndrome, right? To say that from the spaces that I've worked in, I've noticed that people who actually do the things they truly love, they're not doing it. They could do it not for money. They can just wake up and just do it.
Exactly.
They are some of the happiest people because
Exactly.
they have become something that nobody can
You're
take away.
satisfied.
You're so satisfied. And something that I'm actually liking from this conversation is that imagine waking up how many Mondays do we have?
How many
in a year?
Mondays in
Bro,
a
like
year?
every
Yes,
Monday
see?
is just like stress. While someone else who is really passionate about what they do, they're just like, today's another day to do the thing that I love doing.
Man. You're always happy.
Yeah. So, but basically, we're not saying that. So, Ken Banda works every day. He doesn't.
I work every day because this is something I love.
Yeah.
I work every day.
So there's no off days.
There's
work
no
every
off
day.
days. And to me, that's still off because I'm doing something I love.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like watching a movie.
I see
Like
that.
you're watching a movie every day. But also you're making money from watching the movie. It's just an example.
Yeah.
I don't watch movies. I take pictures. But to me, taking pictures is something I love. Even when I don't have clients, I still go shoot. I still make sure I shoot. Because it's just part of me now. It's just part of Ken Banda.
Wow. That's
just
a
Ken
good
Banda.
feeling. No Monday blues.
No
just
Mon-
wake up
Zero.
and you're doing your passion.
Zero.
That's powerful. Man, that was deep. I think whoever's heard that has found something important in that conversation. Now, I was watching something on TikTok. This girl is graduating, and then I don't know how this came about, but she started talking about something that was very deep. She said, sometimes we need to look back into our past and see some of the things that happened to us in the past that are shaping the decisions we make today, how we are today. I like to call it the sins of our fathers. Ideally, other people call it generational curses, whereby something that has affected you as a young child, you bring it forward to you as an adult, right? You start to do the same things that other people in your family used to do. What can you say about that? What have you seen in regards to generational curses? Have you seen that happen in your circles, the people that you see, that they're just repeating the same things over and over that their fathers used to do, for example, or someone in their family used to do, and they're just carrying it across?
Well, I think I'm gonna use a personal experience as an example as well. Because I grew up in a Christian home. And from the very start when we were young, we were always taught to believe in God. And would always have like morning devotions and evening devotions as well. And I think that helped us in a way that we were able to know what's good and what's bad.
Okay.
And for all the bad decisions that like maybe we made or we still make even now, I cannot say it's because of my parents. They did their best to show us the right way to go. And to me, that's a blessing. And I consider myself blessed. If I'm going to mess up or if I messed up, it was all on me, not my parents. Not my parents. So based on my personal story and experience, I don't think there's any generational curse that I took along with me until now. Zero.
That's powerful.
Zero. That might be my curse, but not a
So
generational.
spirituality actually created a very good foundation.
Foundation for us.
Because you had a guide. So something you believed in.
Exactly.
It's powerful.
Even school-wise.
Yeah.
I come from a family where they strongly believe in school. You have to be educated and stuff. And I chose to follow the other path than what my parents wanted me to be. Because my parents wanted me to go to school, finish school, get good grades, get a good job.
Yeah.
That's what they wanted for me. It's not like they're not supportive now.
Yeah.
They've been supportive even when I started. They've been supportive. But I'm sure they never expected me to follow the other path.
Yeah.
Not the one they wanted. And I'm glad they still showed support. Even though they were upset. They were so upset about my decision. But they still supported me. And I think that's why I've been successful. I'm not there yet. I'm not where I want to be. But I consider myself successful based on my journey from when I started until now. And I strongly believe it's because of my parents' support as well.
Yeah.
Because they still showed support even though I chose the other path, not the one they wanted.
That's deep. Because I think over time I'm coming to, even from my personal experience, I love my parents. But I've come to the realization that I think we're lucky. We have privilege to have very good support structures, whereby, like you said, there's influence of Christianity, which is helping you to guide along, to guide you along your path. But there are some people who don't have that, who don't have that guidance,
Exactly.
who don't have parents to give them strong moral values to take them through. So now I've seen you work a lot with young people. You've taken pictures with a lot of your friends and colleagues, and I'm guessing that there are some friends of yours out there who you've grown up together, but they didn't have the same privileges as you, who have not had the same drive as you, and probably they're not as successful as you are right now.
Exactly.
So for a kid who is not privileged to have positive generational curses, for lack of a better word, what advice do you have for them? What story what advice do you have so that they can actually become a Ken Banda one day?
I think it goes back to my story as well. I think the best advice I would give them is to always believe in themselves, and also always put God first. I think the most challenging thing about our generation now is pressure from society. Pressure to always make it. We're all working um, working on our goals, and we all want to make it. Everyone wants to make it, but there's time for everything. Everything takes time. You give yourself time, be patient, put God first, the rest will come.
Okay.
Like, it took me 8 years to for me to be able to buy my first car. So 8 years of grinding, doing photography. I remember when I was starting, like, there were other people who started at the same time as me as well. This is like, these guys were able, like, to buy themselves cars, get all the material things, They were able to get them before some of us.
Yeah. How did that make you feel? Seeing that other people are getting things before you did.
It made me feel inspired. At the same time, I'm going to be honest with you. I was jealous at some point as well, like, this guy is not good like me. And this guy, like, just started 2 years ago, but he's able to, get all this stuff. And I'm still here, taking my minibus, going to a shoot, I became jealous, but then I had to remind myself, because I believe in God, And I knew my time will come, like, where I'll be able to get all this nice stuff, like these guys. Because this is someone who has started maybe 2 years later than you, but they're now using the latest camera. You started like 2 years before them. You're still using your own camera. Haven't even raised enough money to upgrade your gear. How that made you feel? How can that make you feel?
That's actually painful.
Yeah, you see. So, but I always had to remind myself, because growing up, we were always taught to believe in God, always pray, and be patient, and that helped me. The very same upbringing helped me even in my career as well. Because in those moments, I remembered what my grandmother used to say during the morning devotions.
What would she say?
During the evening. Same thing I'm telling you now.
Just
you have to be patient.
Be patient, believe.
Yeah, there's always time for everything,
Yeah.
There's always a reward, my guy. There's always a reward. Some of the rewards you might not see, or you might not be able to recognize them, but there'll always be a reward if you're patient, hardworking, and you're praying. There's always going to be a reward, my guy. I think my reward was the talent I had. You see?
No, actually, I think it's a different story than that, because what I'm seeing is, look at it from this perspective. You are fortunate enough to actually create a purpose for yourself.
Exactly.
You found the thing that you're good at.
Exactly.
And then you're like, you know what? I will keep on going and pushing for this.
Exactly.
So there is this Japanese phrase, they call it ikigai.
What does it mean?
Ikigai.
000.
Ikigai is actually very...
Because I have a Japanese auntie, but...
Oh, Ikigai is actually a very good name. After this podcast, someone has given their child Ikigai as a name. But the idea of Ikigai is that there is a God-given passion or talent, something that only you are good at. Like, for example, you're good at photography, but you can give a camera to someone, it will not come as natural to them as it comes to you.
Yeah,
and
I get it.
I feel like most of the times people do not follow our personal ikigais, the things that God naturally has given to us. And that's why we enter into the society as, like we said, imposters. Because, for example, I am naturally good at math. And someone has told you, go do accounting. You will not... If I am pushing the way that I'm supposed to be pushing, the person who is naturally good at math, it's going to be very hard for you to catch up to this person, because it's their natural space. If it's war, would say woman and muntu ba home ground. It's a show. So I like the fact that you had found your ikigai, and from the ikigai, you kept on going because, like you said, you're going through so many problems, obstacles and challenges, and on top of that, this belief structure that you had in your life, it kept you going, right? That's powerful.
The passion.
The passion.
Passion is strong, my guy.
You're calling it passion?
Yeah, it's my passion.
Yeah.
Because if you're passionate about something, it's the passion that motivates you, not the money.
Come again?
If you're passionate about something,
Yeah.
it's the passion that motivates you.
Yeah.
It's not about money or the material stuff
That's
or
powerful.
people. Zero.
That's a big theory right there. That's
Zero.
a big philosophy.
Zero.
So something that I've learned and I'm trying to practice is whenever I feel uncomfortable, I try to I save that emotion, and then later on when I have time, I think about it. Why did I feel this? So I realized that there is a difference between jealousy and envy. You know,
How?
Okay, so the difference is jealousy is when you want what someone else has, but envy is
You don't want it,
but it
you
just
still like.
it makes
You
you
still have
remember
that
that, yeah,
feeling.
you're like, you know what, I'm not doing enough. So I have come to appreciate envy because in that moment I realized I didn't want what that person had. Whatever they got, I don't want it. But because they had gotten something,
I get it.
you know what I mean?
I
It
get
was
it.
like a reminder to say, yo, you're sleeping. You know, you need to like,
Your friends are doing this. Your friends are progressing in life.
yeah. So I feel
get
like what you had was pretty much envy. It made
Yeah,
you,
envy.
it motivated you.
I think for mine it was like both jealousy and envy, because I wanted what this guy had,
Yeah.
but I couldn't afford, and this guy is able to afford. You know, so for me it was both envy and jealousy.
I'll still debate about it because my issue is
We can agree to disagree.
we can
my
agree to
guy.
disagree, but I get what you mean. But it was enough drive to actually to push you through to come here.
Yeah, exactly.
See, that's powerful, man.
Exactly.
So you work with a lot of young people.
Huh.
I think you're a mentor to a lot of people in Dirande and so many other places. I think you inspire a lot of people. And being a young person who is actually doing very well, you're working with a lot of companies, right?
Yeah, I have.
You can you mention a few if you can?
Yeah, I've worked with National Bank before. I've not worked, but I've shot for National Bank before. I've shot for TNM. I've shot for Airtel. I've shot for Ilovo, Lafaji, and I've shot for Netflix as well.
Whoa, that's mad. So I think I saw it on your Instagram. You traveled all the way to SA.
Yes.
That's big. So now for the current our generation, the people between 14 or 12 all the way to like 35, what have you seen that people are doing that is derailing their potential? Because I mean, when you look at the number of people who are not employed right now is very high, but people, like we said, have got a lot of passion and purpose and drive. But what do you think is actually derailing people from achieving their full potential?
Well, we're now living in a digital world, as a global community as well. And I think the major thing that's affecting people my age or people younger than me is social media.
Okay.
Social media. Because you go on social media, you'll find someone your age or younger than you. This guy has a house, a car, and they make a lot of money. And you want to be like them. Like, you don't know what's behind the scene, what happens, what they do, or
Even
where
if
they,
it's theirs.
where they get their money.
Yeah.
Because like I can go in front of someone's house, take a picture, and then post it on my IG, and then claim that it's my house. Someone who doesn't know me, who doesn't know the owner of the house, they'll believe. And now they'll start putting pressure on themselves as well, trying to catch up and stuff. So social media to me is a good thing if you're using it well. I use social media. Like, I'm always on Instagram 24/7 because that's where I get money. That's where I make money. At the same time, the same social media can be harmful to someone.
How?
Like I just said, you're trying to catch up with someone you don't even know. You don't even know where they get their money, how they make their money. Maybe this person has worked 24, not 24. Maybe they've like spent 7 years working on something.
Yeah.
And then they're just getting the results
Yeah.
in their 7th year.
I see that.
And you've just started your business.
You want to now.
Your business maybe it's just 1 year or
1 month, bro.
and you want to be like someone who's been in the game for
like
8 years. Doesn't work like that. So give yourself time. Use social media to your advantage. Instead of trying to catch up to the people you see on social media, use them as your motivation. Use them as your motivation. No matter how long it's going to take, just use them as your motivation. Like, one day I want to be like this guy. Let me just work hard, put in all the work, and then there's always a reward, like I've said.
Yeah.
There's always a reward. You might not get it then, you might not get it now, but there's always a reward. So,
you know, like one time I actually took a sabbatical.
I don't know if I've answered your.
No, you actually have.
Okay.
And actually, what I was about to say is what I'm about to say is actually just trying to complement what you're saying, in the sense that right now social media is actually a very powerful tool.
Yeah.
Because back in the old days, like for you to get 5 customers, it means you have to physically meet 5 customers. But I like the fact that you use the word global village, right? Whereby you can even start to interact with people who are not even in Malawi.
Exactly.
I mean, you got the chance to work in South Africa because of the same social media correspondences,
exactly,
right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so like you said, I think there's always a give and take. And I always think about it from that perspective that whenever something is not really benefiting you, it's probably affecting you in another way. So that's really powerful, man. So from your side, this is going to be
I hope it's not too personal.
No, it's not personal.
Okay.
I feel no, it is personal. You can choose to answer it or not.
Sure. Go
but
ahead.
do you have is there a personal bad habit that you have had to battle to destroy, you know, like to get over?
Yes, there is. And this is something I've, like, you know, been struggling with since I was a kid. I'm impatient. I must not lie, I'm impatient. And this is something I've been battling all my career when I started, like, doing photography. But at the same time, I always remind myself about what my grandmother used to tell us. And also, I always use my personal story as a lesson as well. Like, I always look back from where I'm coming from until now. And that has helped me a lot. I'm still impatient even now. I still, like, struggle. Like, if things don't go my way, I go crazy, you know. But I always remind myself, and I cannot say it's over because I still struggle with it now. And it's something I'm praying I get to overcome one day.
So is this impatience in regards to, like, is it like in general?
In general. Career-wise, love life, with friends, family and stuff. Yeah. So this is something I'm working on.
So the I think, like you said, the biggest issue that we have now is you use the words that your grandmother told you as the pillar to say, no, you need to be patient, and this is
there's
what
always
you
time for there's always time for everything.
You know, my dad used to use the same words. He used to say, no, he likes to say, he says everything is a matter of time. So just wait for your time, and your time will come. All right, man. Thank you so much for your time. It was great having a conversation with you.
And thank you for having me as well.
Nah, man, I'm definitely having you back because your success
Sure.
is just going.
Sure.
So next time you do something crazy again, I'll be like, we need.
Next
Ken
time when I
back.
shoot for Mercedes Benz, because that's what I'm going for.
Whoa. So wait,
Invite
you've
me
got
as well.
you've got a target list of like the clients that you want.
I've got Mercedes Benz,
Whoa.
Coca-Cola. With now Coca-Cola back in Malawi, I'm just like fingers crossed. I'm just hoping I get to work with them
All right.
one day, because at least I got recognition from both companies, Mercedes Benz and
And Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola as well. So I'm still in touch with both brands as well.
Yeah.
So I'm just hoping I get to work with them one day.
Nah, shout out to
And that's it
Coca-Cola.
for me.
Yeah? Nah, because you know, like, let's
I know the sky is the limit,
let's
but
push Coca-Cola.
you know,
Because shout out to Coca-Cola and Mercedes-Benz. I mean, this boy is inspiring a lot of Malawian youth. We want to see you officially on that Coca-Cola and Mercedes-Benz brand.
soon it'll happen. It'll
powerful.
happen. It'll happen. I just need the patience.
Just the patience. No, but then you're
That's
already.
what I'm struggling with, but I get it.
You know, there's something that you do that I once told you that you do that I think you don't even understand that you're doing subconsciously. There is this theory or philosophy that I'm adopting slowly. It's called becoming. So the idea behind the philosophy is that if you want something, let's assume that you want to become the best footballer, right? There are things that the best footballers in the world do in order to achieve that. And studying your work, you also do that. Like you said,
Thank you, man.
for you to get to Coca-Cola, you know there are things that you have to do. You're not just sitting back and just like, Coca-Cola, you find me at home. No,
zero.
like you're pushing your,
You have to shoot your shot.
yeah, you're shooting your shot. You always, I see you always do this little, you tag them on IG.
I have more than 100 photos of Coca-Cola. More than 100 photos.
And you still believe that one day.
I still believe. Actually, this one time they actually contacted me, like, we've seen your work, we like it. We're going to send you a hamper. So this was Coca-Cola SA. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
You
they
got a
sent me
hamper?
yeah.
No Fanta for me, man. There's no Coca-Cola for your brother.
Were you there when I was like, doing all the work?
Wow. Ouch. I was there in the background.
There's a reward for.
No, but then I liked your page.
But yeah, I know,
was
I know, I know,
like,
I know,
like,
I know,
I was
I
like,
know.
Ken, no.
I know.
So,
I know. But
fun.
next time.
The next one.
Next time.
Man,
The
but-
next time is going to be money. So
Yeah, actually, that's what I was thinking. That who wants a Coca-Cola can when they can get money?
yeah.
That's powerful. All right, man. So, anything else you want to say before we wrap up? Because I mean, I think that's the last segment that we have. But anything that you want to say, mostly to the people who are young, striving, pushing, hustling every day.
Well, my advice is, I think I always give this advice to people who are in my shoes. Is to always believe in yourself. Because no one else is going to believe in you if you don't believe in yourself. So always believe in yourself. Always believe in yourself and always put God first. Everything comes after. The money, the fame, whatever comes after.
So that's how actually we had that amazing conversation with Ken, probably one of the best photographers in the land. You go on Twitter, you see people always commenting about how he is probably the best works that we've seen in the photography space in Malawi. So in our discussions, we've looked at how he found his purpose, how it is not easy to make a decision to follow his purpose, because most times people want to follow society and what society deems to be success, but he found his own journey. And through that journey, we've also seen that it wasn't always easy. He has had setbacks. He had setbacks in equipment and probably doubting in himself, but he always believed that his purpose was bigger than himself. And one time he lost his camera, he switched to a pencil. So when you have a very strong purpose, nothing will actually set you back. So you've been with me, Steve. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our page, and do not forget to like and subscribe to Ken's page and promote him and boost him and give him the fire that Malawi are always giving him. So check out his socials. He's on Twitter, which is also known as X. He's on Facebook. He's on Instagram. He doesn't like to post on WhatsApp, but now he's back on WhatsApp. He's now posting on WhatsApp as well. So check out his work. You'll be amazed. So you've been with me, Steve, as always.